So hi there, this is my VOD review. I hope you like it, and above all that it helps you to improve your gameplay. A bit about myself, I'm not a pro player, but I've been solo queuing Ana to Masters this season. I also like to learn and think about the technical and mechanical and strategic aspect of the game, so I watch a lot of VOD reviews, read as much as I can. So I hope that I'm able to help you with it. Um, just to do a brief sum up, I've already seen the video several times actually, but I think your two main focus points to improve should be your communication with the other team. You try sometimes in the game, but you didn't communicate that much, and you didn't communicate in very crucial situations. So first communication, and then second your management of your abilities, if your cooldowns, especially your ultimate. Otherwise, I think your mechanical skill is pretty good for gold. Your positioning is okay, it could be better at some points, and I will get there. But you didn't die that often in this game because most of the time you were behind your Reinhardt and behind your team healing them. So it was okay. So two things to improve, two things that you do good and that you should keep doing. And yeah, let's get to it. So we have the team composition here. First thing you should think. I will leave in the video description another video from another guy which talks a lot about, in more detail, about the team composition, how to know if it's a balanced team composition and so on. So I'm not going to talk about that in detail. I'll just say that here it's pretty meta, except the Junkrat. It's not a bad pick because on Dorado, on the first point, you have a choke point, the small tunnel, so the Junkrat can be efficient there, but usually not a good pick. But I would not ask immediately to change the Junkrat. Probably after the first point, I would really start thinking about saying it. Second thing about before starting, I think that I like to think is, in this meta is easy. Like who are you gonna nano boost? In this meta it is easy. It's soldier mostly, and you have a soldier, so it's pretty okay. But I like to think beforehand who it's the best target for nano boost in my team, and I like to communicate to them. Just say something like, "Hey, let's try to coordinate our ultimates." At least to build a bit of awareness in the other player, in the soldier. Ideally, the soldier would ask you for nano boost, telling you, hey, I'm gonna ult now, please nano boost me. Ideally, most of the times, at this elo, I think people usually don't do that. But at least it builds a bit of awareness in the soldier. And you're a bit proactive with the team management. So yeah, those two things to think: team management, the team overall balance, and who you're gonna ult and communicate that. So yeah, let's start then. I usually also in the beginning always make sure that all my teammates are on voice chat and say hi guys, good evening or good afternoon, whatever. Try to be nice and create a nice atmosphere in the beginning. And here you're gonna do something which I really like.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Maybe I'll skip.
Back in this perk,
yeah.
So if you go through the building, I won't have line of sight.
So here, I think you should really continue doing this, which is you're telling your teammates, hey, I'm here if you need me. And I also usually say that you refer to the line of sight, okay? Although your Reinhardt didn't pay any attention to what you said, obviously, and we're going to talk about that because it's crucial in this point. But I also usually say it so that my teammates, if I cry for help, if I ask for help, they know where I am and they could easily and very fast come to help me. So your diva could fly here very fast because she knows already where you are, and if there's a flanker on you, you can say, help me, and the diva already knows where you are. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about your Reinhardt's positioning because it's really bad, in my opinion, at least. And your Lucio even worse. your Reinhardt is in a very it's very close. He's very close to the enemy spawn. He's pretty much alone. And I don't even know. I can't even see where his soldier is.
If you could just keep spamming shots
Your
on me, that'd be
Lucy
cool,
was
'cause
there.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna focus me once they get really annoyed.
Interesting. Ah, now your soldier got there. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
So your Reinhardt is really close to their spawn, which is bad because the enemy team can put a lot of pressure because it's so close to the spawn. And he's not taking a high advantage point like these balconies here. The balcony where you are and the balcony where Junkrat is should be the places where the Reinhardt should be. Why am I saying this? It's not directly your fault, but I'm saying this because you could have suggested the Reinhardt, you should have suggested the Reinhardt to be here instead of where he is right now. You could have tried nicely saying, hey Reinhardt, come here, let's use the high ground advantage. Usually in this map, what people do is they take one of these balconies, and when the payload approaches the tunnel, the small tunnel there, they go back and they defend the tunnel as a choke point. It's the easiest point to defend, it's the tunnel. So basically stand here or here where the Junkrat is, and then when the payload approaches the tunnel down here, you should be back here, back in the tunnel here, okay? I hope you can see my mouse pointer. Okay, you're putting some pressure on the Tracer, healing the Diva, okay, good. So now, here, you should already be thinking about throwing a biotic grenade. And this is your big mistake here. So, beginning of the fight, your Reinhardt is almost dead. Of course, because of his positioning, but not good. Should try to keep the Reinhardt alive and should already throw a biotic grenade. Let's continue. Okay, he's dead. And now you could have probably hit both with the biotic grenade, but now your Diva is out of mech. And let's try to reason something very simple here. Your Reinhardt is dead, your Diva is out of mech. Basically, the fight is lost. And the enemy team is really close to their spawn, they're still all alive, the fight is pretty much lost. What you should do is, you should retreat, go back, wait for your Reinhardt. Why? Because if you are here, you might die, and you're gonna take a long time to respawn and to go back to the payload. And if you die, you also feed the enemy team ult charge. Also, you're not gonna kill anyone here, probably. Neither is gonna the Junkrat. So you should just ask your team as well, communicate again. Ask your team, go back, retreat. Let's wait for the Reinhardt and group up. Okay, Sleep Dart. It would be useless anyway. It wouldn't make any difference. Also, if you had gone back earlier, probably you could have healed your soldier and your baby Diva. But okay, at least you had the tendency to go back, but then you see your Junkrat. And you go back for your Junkrat. Questionable decision, I would say, in higher elo, bad mistake, because the Tracer could have died. If the Tracer would have been probably more skilled, she would have switched focus immediately to you and she would have killed you. Actually, she almost does kill you. You get to 14 points of health, so you almost dead. A bit more skilled Tracer probably would have killed you there. Meanwhile, you're not back with your team to heal them where you most needed. And you basically just missed all your shots with the Tracer, because Tracer, let's face it, it's a hard target to hit with Ana. Also, a second problem here is that it puts you in an awkward positioning, where you're between your team and between the enemy team, and in the middle of the enemy team. So the enemy team is spawning behind you and will get you on your back, and you're not behind your Reinhardt, so not ideal positioning. This was one of the reasons why I said that your position is okay most of the times, but In this particular situation, you should have retreated earlier. Okay, I'm not gonna dwell. I think sometimes you reload when you shouldn't reload, but I think those details should first focus on other stuff. But okay, you can also pay attention to your reloading, because sometimes you reload when it's really not needed. When you have like 5 ammo still and you need to heal your teammates and stuff like that. Like there, for example, you had to heal the diva and you reloaded. Too bad you missed the grenade, but okay. So right now you should already tell your teammates. There's a Pharah there. Soldier, please focus on the Pharah. And another thing here. Sorry, I'm saying everything in the beginning, but I think it's in this case it should be really where you should have done it. You should press tab to see you're almost getting your ultimate. Usually Anna gets her ultimate before the soldier does, but you should ask your soldier and press tab to see if your soldier already has the ultimate. So maybe you could have nano boosted the soldier here and you would have killed the Pharah and so on. So big point, press tab a lot more often to see which of your teammates has ultimates, especially your soldier, which you should be nano boosting.
Soldier, focus fire. Focus fire.
Okay, here you say soldier focus fire, that's good. One very quick tip, I think you should increase the volume of your microphone. At least comparing to the other people that spoke in the game, I think your volume was a bit low. And I had some trouble understanding what you're saying.
Okay.
Good positioning behind the Reinhardt. Not so much now, okay. You come back. I would have probably stayed there because I would have line of sight to the Reinhardt. Here I'm a bit exposed to a flanker, here, and there I would have an escape route as well. So yeah, try maybe be a bit more protected with your team. But okay, just a small detail. You almost killed the Pharah. You could have said Pharah low, something like that. Focus Pharah, Pharah low. That was okay, grenade. Okay, Reinhardt's charging. Not an easy dart, sleep dart, because you don't. It happens a bit too fast. But let's talk a bit about the sleep darts. I think right now in your current situation, you should focus on your sleep dart priorities and at least using them always when that happens. So I mean, don't focus on using your sleep dart all the time right now, because first, before using it consistently, I think you need to improve your sleep darts in crucial situations. So what is a crucial situation, at least my opinion, for a sleep dart? Reinhardt's charging, enemy ulting, and when a flanker is attacking you. And first focus on, be fast on responding to these situations. As immediately as you see a Reinhardt charging, sleep dart him, and try not to waste your sleep dart in other situations, because especially in the second part of the game, we're going to see that there were 2 crucial situations where you needed your sleep dart and you didn't have it because you wasted it. But okay, this sleep dart was, I guess, not that easy to hit. Then you were hit by the graviton surge. You couldn't have done much. You used your biotic grenade on you. Okay, but
Old soldiers are hard to kill.
so right now, what should you be doing? Saying, come back guys, let's regroup. Okay, so your teammates are just getting picked. And now you are there and your teammates are still dying. They will take time respawning, so you're uncoordinated. So Baby Diva, for instance, should be trying to run away instead of just staying there. You're trying to pick the Reinhardt shield. It's pretty useless at this point and could be a bit risky. I know that you're not going to die here, but just stay behind your Reinhardt. In another situation, a Pharah could have hit you, could have killed you while picking or something like that. And it's really not useful.
told you, if you're not doing it, then switch.
Get back in the fight.
Okay, you didn't have line of sight to your Reinhardt, which is always a bit worrying. Luckily, you were still able to keep him alive, but barely. So try to make sure you have line of sight to your Reinhardt and communicate with your Reinhardt to ask him to position himself a bit better if you really don't have line of sight. Okay, questionable ult, but I understand why you ulted here, but it's plainly wrong. You should be coordinating your ults with the soldier. Reinhardt, it's not so good target in this meta, especially when you don't have a Lucio, which I don't know if you figured it out, if you realized in this game, but your Lucio in the beginning changed immediately to Mercy. But since you don't press tab that much, it's hard to see that. Why is that bad? Because the Mercy and you are competing for ultimate charge, because you both get ultimate by healing. So you're stealing ultimate charge from each other, and a Mercy combination is usually not good. So you could have asked your healer to stay Lucio. And Reinhardt's nano boosted without a Lucio speed boost, it's really hard or really wasteful, usually. You could have slapped the Mercy here, and you probably would have killed her. You can, when you sleep dart an enemy, you can go to the enemy, shoot the enemy, immediately use your biotic grenade and shoot again. You have time to do all these 3 actions really easily, and you'll do a lot of damage. And I think I don't know the math for sure, but I think you could kill the Mercy. Okay, you're behind your enemy's Rhine shield, which is good. I don't like this position here because you're actually exposed. You're already after your Reinhardt, okay? So you can't heal your other teammates like the Diva, the Junkrat. You should be back here together with the Junkrat, for instance. Okay, you managed to heal the Reinhardt. The sleep dart was more or less pretty useless, but okay. So now here, you should already be thinking about using your biotic grenade, which is out of cooldown, to heal yourself. And you go back, even you didn't use your bionic grenade, the Pharah didn't kill you, but you go back again. Okay, it's questionable. The Pharah was low, but it's still really risky. Fortunately, the Pharah missed this rocket, otherwise you would have died. So I just want to highlight something else here. Let me just go back a little bit. You're 188. 1 rocket, you get 1 rocket. 2 rockets. And here immediately you should already be thinking, I was hit 2 rockets. You don't even need to look at your health. You should use your biotic grenade, okay? Probably if you had used your biotic grenade, I would have said it would have been okay to go back to hit the Pharah and probably kill her. 1 more shot and she would have been dead. I think this brings me to another topic, which is something that you could start thinking about this. Maybe a tiny bit more advanced, but I think it's always useful to think about this, which is the risk versus reward of a situation. In this case, the Pharah was very low. So if you had used your biotic grenade the Pharah couldn't kill you with 1 shot. So the risk versus reward was okay to kill the Pharah, I would say. But in other situations, for instance, when you were dueling the Tracer in the beginning of the match, you were very close to the enemy spawn. If the Tracer would have died, he would have spawned really close to the payload. So he would be back at the payload really fast. So the damage that you would do would be minimal to their team, let's say, their progress. But if the Tracer would have killed you, you would have to spawn all the way back. You would take a longer time than the tracer to get to the payload. So it would be worse for you. So in that case, the reward was not good enough to sustain the risk and to actually do it. So risk versus reward is a topic that you should maybe start thinking a bit about, whether you should risk some actions if the reward is good enough. For instance, in this case, maybe the Pharah would be a good option because she was very low. Although, true, they're very close to their spawn. So here it's not very useful to use a lot of commit a lot ultimates and so, because they're very close to their spawn. But okay, I like this positioning better than the other one you had. So you're behind your Reinhardt, you have line of sight, and it's good. Here, ask your soldier to focus the Pharah as well. Okay, wasted grenade. Let's go back a little bit. Your D.Va, no one was focusing, from the enemy team, no one was focusing on your D.Va. And she was a bit less than half. You could have just healed her instead of using a biotic grenade on her, because you might have used the biotic grenade here in the Graviton. Probably wouldn't have changed much of the outcome, because then the Pharah also ulted. Here, well, maybe if you would be a bit more forward, you could maybe slap the Pharah. Here, although I understand that you get back to, because your teammates are taking a lot of damage. But okay, I understand. Just a biotic grenade, I would have not used it on a single target just because it's critical. I think a lot of people have that tendency, just because a target is critical, a single target, and just use the biotic grenade. It really depends on the situation. In this case, it was a bad choice.
Soldier, come on, do your job.
You could have healed the D.Va because she was not being focused. Okay, here nothing you can do. Good reaction, you just retreat, you don't get picked, that's good. You could just tell your team, okay, let's group up behind the Reinhardt.
That's why I have gold damage, and you probably have bronze.
Okay, I guess your Junkrat is like complaining a bit. I mean, here you should have already switched, because you have a Pharah, and the Pharah is giving you a lot of trouble with the Mercy, and there is a misconception that the soldier should deal with the Pharah alone by himself. So usually it's very hard, especially when the Pharah has a Mercy pocket healing her. So Ana helps, but all the damage you deal to the Pharah, it's theoretically healing you that you don't do. So the Junkrat, of course, doesn't do anything against the Pharah. It would have been better if you would have changed to another, maybe even Zarya, Roadhog, or even another hit scan like McCree. Why I'm saying this? Because you could have tried to nicely suggest it. Also, I think the main reason why you lose this game, if you think at a macro level, it's because you didn't manage to deal with, your team didn't manage to deal with the Pharah Mercy. I think it was the game-changing factor here. Even if you probably have managed your cooldowns a little bit better, okay, if you nano boosted the soldier, would have maybe made some real difference, but still you wouldn't be able to probably deal with the Pharah and Mercy. You would need more help, and the Junkrat was not providing that help. Okay, so now interesting point here. You never did this once throughout the game, and something you should start doing, which is ask for healing. You have a Mercy, and you're really low, and the Mercy could heal you. Interesting thing here is that you didn't call for Mercy's healing. Let's go back a little bit. You're 98, and the Mercy is healing your Reinhardt, which is full health. You should already be calling for help instead of wasting a bio grenade just on yourself. Also, if you're gonna use a bio grenade, well, it's very easy to stop the game and think, okay? But in this situation, what I would do is I would go into the middle of my team and I would throw the bio grenade on the floor. I would heal myself and use the bio grenade on my team. But even better than that, it's asking for your mercy to heal you. Just press the key, the voice key, to ask for mercy to heal you. She's still not healing you, you're almost dead. You could have died with that soldier if he had shot a helix rocket, could have happened. And now she's healing you when you're almost full health. So pay a bit more attention to your health and ask for healing. Now here is something, I don't think you could have saved this mercy. It was very fast, 1-2 seconds. You would have had to have like really godlike reflexes, I think. Okay, you're dealing damage instead of trying to keep your Reinhardt alive. In this situation, even dealing damage with Zenyatt's ult, it's useless basically. I think at this level, you should prioritize on healing a lot first. You're gonna see pro players playing Ana very aggressively, but if you want to climb outside gold to plat, diamond, I think just if you focus on keeping your, especially your Reinhardt alive, you're gonna do a lot. Of course, all your other teammates are also important, Reinhardt especially, instead of just trying to deal damage. Not much you could do here now because they're using their ults, their soldier using ults. So here you lost line of sight to your teammates because you're retreating and they're still on the point, although the fight is completely lost. Well, you still have the soldier up there. See, you don't know if your soldier has nano boost or not. Maybe has tactical visor, he has his ultimate. You could have maybe nano boosted him. You should press tab. Should be telling your team to come back, to retreat and group up. They already got the point. So when the enemy team gets the point, should be a big red flag so that you call your team back. Because even if they kill an enemy, they will spawn right there. More or less where the Junkrat is a bit further away, it's the enemy spawn. So they will spawn right there. So it's pretty useless to risk this much and getting picked, basically. Just call your teammates and tell them to come back. Okay, that was a good grenade. You hit both enemies. Actually, yeah, you hit one and your Reinhardt. No, this is an interesting fight here. And I've analyzed this before because you win this fight, but it doesn't do anything towards you that much. And actually you win this fight because of incompetency of the enemy team. So let's see. You heal your Reinhardt, you boost him, and he starts killing anyone. And look at the enemy team, the enemy Zarya. It's completely oblivious to you. It doesn't know you're there. So in another skill level, the enemy Zarya would realize that the Reinhardt is being healed by you, and it would just turn around, and you already at half health. So the Zarya would pretty much kill you. And the Reinhardt would never be able to make this play in a reasonable competitive level, let's say. But since the Zarya was completely oblivious to you, you keep healing the Reinhardt, and the Reinhardt keeps killing. Even the soldier is actually not even trying to kill you and just trying to focus on the Reinhardt. So this is a play that here worked, but in other levels should really not work. And again, you should be focusing on nano boosting the soldier and not the Reinhardt. Interesting that you throw the grenade and no, the soldier still keeps trying to kill the Reinhardt. Not the best fight to win because you're really close to their spawn, but better than nothing. So just should try to tell your soldier and your Junkrat to stay behind Reinhardt's, and yeah. Soldier is really out of place. Okay, so he's moving now. Good positioning here. You're trying to check the flank. Okay. So now here is a really good sleep dart.
Soldier, why are you pushing back?
This is kind of sleep dart that can be game changing. And you did also really well, something you should also continue doing, which is you said soldier sleeping. Although you could have said soldier sleeping back or soldier sleeping on the right side or something. Back would probably have been better.
Soldier's like all the way up to China.
Also try to tell the position. Now you're one-on-one the soldier because your team is completely oblivious to the soldier. Your diva could have helped you. Sometimes here in this situation you could also ask diva, help me, soldier is behind you. Oh, now she saw it. Again, now we have a Pharah, and the diva should also help you with the Pharah. You're one-on-oneing the Pharah all alone, and you're not asking for help.
Much better. My ultimate is just
So again, here you could have asked the Mercy to heal you. You say soldier left. Yeah, okay.
Pharah pop.
You say soldier behind. You could have said soldier left. It doesn't really matter. Okay, just a detail. Now you have nano boost again. When did you get your nano boost? Again, it was in the beginning, more or less in the beginning of the fight. So you regroup. Here you are more or less regrouped again. Your Reinhardt is still coming, so you should check. You should ask your soldier to see if he can nano boost. He could go up top. He could nano boost. He could use his ultimate. But okay.
Soldier coming behind. Soldier coming behind.
Pharah pop. Who's watching her? I forgot we have a retarded soldier.
Okay.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء.
Sometimes these fights and these elo are a bit weird. Even though you have the disadvantage, you end up winning the fight. Obvious. Okay. You could have tried to slap the Pharah. I think it was not very easy to spot the Pharah. At least here in the video I can't see it that well. You sent a grenade, which was good, but you still had your sleep dart. Okay, you nano boosted Junkrat, like shit happens. I think it's very good because he said it was a mistake, honest mistake, and that's really good when you recognize. Yeah, good mechanical skill there with the Pharah. The sleep dart was basically useless, the fight was won. So basically the rest of the round is won, then the Zenyatta ults in, it's okay. So basically in this fight you kill the Pharah, and that's very important. Yeah. Killing the Pharah was very important in this fight, but I think you win the fight mostly because of Mercy's res. Yeah, that was a good res. Okay, so back to the second one. Just to sum up a bit, since it's already I already talked a lot. Coordinate your ultimates with the soldier, definitely. Try to correct basic error positioning mistakes of your team and basic picks, like character picks of your team. Try to talk with them in a nice way. I know it's not always easy. And a couple of times use your bionic grenade better and try to think about risk reward situations and trying to back up earlier in some situations. But otherwise, I think it was okay. So let's see the second part. The comp is slightly better. So instead of a Mercy, you could have asked for a Lucio. Could have asked the guy to change to Lucio. Oh, well, it's okay. It's like I said, Mercy and Anna, they compete for ultimate charge, so not ideal, but okay. Could be worse. Could be worse. So I think it's okay to start.
Okay, Anna, now if you want to ult me, that's good because I'm soldier now.
So it's actually pretty good. The soldier is
Never
saying
stop
that
fighting for what you
you should ult him. Okay, perfect. But you end up just ulting him once and not in a very good situation, but okay. Better than the first part where you never ulted the soldier.
I
Sir.
must say you're looking.
Okay. The enemy team has more or less the same comp.
Just a scratch.
You should have set the position of the Pharah, like Pharah left on top left, for instance. Try to focus on the Pharah. It's okay, and I think you do good to try to kill the Pharah because you have a Mercy healing the D.Va. Your team is more or less full health, so it's pretty good to do that. Good positioning behind your team, out of danger, with line of sight to everyone. And here I think, okay, you could have tried to predict this a bit better. I know it's always easier when you're analyzing a video, and it's a lot harder when you play. But you know how Symmetra, or you should know how Symmetra works, how it deals damage. The longer she has the beam on someone, the more damage she does. So you could have thrown a biotic grenade here. You would probably saved the Mercy.
Watch out for that Pharah, she's just hiding behind the roof. Can't seem to get her.
Eli, you purple.
Good biotic grenade, you hit both tanks, you managed to keep them alive. Your Reinhardt lost his shield, was a bit unlucky, but he could have gone inside. Now here, okay, good mechanical skill with the Pharah. Your soldier, look, he's a bit oblivious to the Pharah. And you should really tell him at this position, at this point, you should tell him Pharah low, left top, something like, or just Pharah low, or just yell at the, not yell, I'm sorry, but just tell the soldier Pharah low on top, so that he looks up and kills the Pharah. I think, do you talk? Do you talk? You say something, but I really don't understand what you say here. Should increase your microphone volume. Again, good shots. You killed the Pharah on your own. Your soldier is not doing much.
Destroy that shield, guys. Alright, push up.
You almost have ultimate. You should be asking your soldier how much ultimate he has. It was a good Reinhardt sleep dart. And here you should have. So you should try to get these mechanics automatic. Like when you sleep someone, immediately say Reinhardt slept behind, something like that. In this case, your Reinhardt saw that the other Reinhardt was slept, but it could have, maybe you wouldn't have in other situations. So get these mechanics already innate. So practice them. Just to, when you sleep someone, just tell them immediately where they were slept.
Good job. Pharah down, got her.
You're purple,
Escorting the payload.
You're pushing.
I have ultimate.
It's okay, I guess. You're helping your team clean up the rest because the Reinhardt is dead.
Yeah.
Good.
Next team fight, try to flank and then
So, this is just a detail, but I think it makes a bit of difference here. You're all on the payload and you won the fight, and the enemy team, it's almost coming one by one. So by now you should already tell your team to focus on the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt is alone, so if you quickly kill the Reinhardt, it will make a huge difference for the next fight. But you all stay on the payload and you pretty much ignore the Reinhardt until he already comes to you. If you had acted a bit earlier, you would have killed the Reinhardt. You would have made the fight a lot easier. Also, you could have used your grenade on the Reinhardt, because you could expect like a Mercy to heal the Reinhardt, or Anna through distance, and your team was full health, So you could have tried to anti-heal the Reinhardt, so make sure he died. Okay, so here it's one of the sleep dart mistakes that I wanted to mention that I said in the beginning, which is, let's see where you use your sleep dart.
Next team fight, try to flank and then go right.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm so surprised. Did the enemy Reinhardt? Okay. So you use the sleep dart on a very, very hard shot, which you miss. And so if you had prioritized your sleep darts for instance, enemy ultimates, like I said in the beginning, you would have... It's crazy how the enemy Reinhardt still hasn't died. You could have slapped the Pharah here. Also, you should have used your biotic grenade immediately. You were looking at your teammates where they were getting pounded by the Pharah. Biotic grenade immediately, and you should have your sleep dart here. It doesn't... it's a bit useless to damage the Pharah here because the Mercy was pocket healing the Pharah, so you're pretty much just feeding Mercy ult. I know this kind of things, it's hard to think at this level mid-game, but this kind of logic you need to be aware of so that you continue, so that it becomes more natural with time. I'm still amazed how the enemy Reinhardt is still alive. Maybe if you had asked your team to focus. Oh, now here is a good opportunity for you to use your grenade. I'm not sure if you use it. No. You had the Pharah, the enemy Reinhardt, and your D.Va, and you had your grenade available. You should have used it. Okay, now just come back, retreat.
Yes, long one. We know you're garbage. Please stop.
I don't know what your soldier is saying, but probably not something nice. This damage that you're doing here is completely useless because you're not going to kill anyone and you're just feeding the other team's ultimate. So just go back, reset, get behind your enemy, your Reinhardt, your team's Reinhardt, and just push. Also the sleep dart, I understand if you had sleep dart, the Reinhardt could have been... Your Reinhardt could have charged into the guy, but I don't think he's even there, so it was really useless. You could communicate that the Pharah is there.
Go on me now, Anna. I'm right behind you.
Okay, you had the sleep dart and you should have sleep dart the Reinhardt when he was charging here. Again, priorities of the sleep dart. That grenade was pretty useless because it just went against the Reinhardt's shield, and your Reinhardt was pretty low, was he? Well, yeah, he was pretty low, and he charged with almost no health. So wait, yeah, so you could have... You have your grenade here, you see your Reinhardt, you throw your grenade to your Reinhardt, not that, but okay. He actually survived. But then sleep dart here. In this position is a bit hard, probably. But if you would have been a bit more back, it would have been easier. Okay, nothing you could have done here besides trying to sleep dart your Reinhardt. So now you're running out of time.
Come back. You're perfect.
Very good, you say to the Rodak to come back, which is good.
Alright.
He gets... no, he doesn't get a pick. You see, if you try to coordinate with your soldier, for instance, for him to flank a little bit, like if you would even that window, use his ultimate and you nano boost him, it could have made a difference in this fight.
Ult me, Dorado down.
Okay, now this is one of the... Wait, I think you already used it. This sleep dart.
me from...
Again, your Reinhardt is full health. The Diva is not gonna kill him anytime soon. You missed the sleep dart, but this sleep dart didn't make any sense, and you're gonna need the sleep dart next. Here, you need your sleep dart, and you don't have it. Also, again, damaging the Pharah while it's being healed by the Mercy. But your soldier ults, so he's able to kill the Mercy. Okay, the Pharah. And this fight is, he had really bad luck, because if the soldier had killed the Mercy a little bit before, he would have won this fight.
Get in there.
But the Mercy was able to res before the soldier killed her, and you didn't notice that. If the soldier had looked behind, he would have seen the Pharah and he would have killed her probably. That was tough luck. It was not an easy one to spot, but you heard it.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Actually not.
Rains from above.
Tactical visor.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Well, you could see it, but you didn't hear it. Probably because I was overposing. See, you see here, there's a res.
Get in there.
You knew the Pharah was dead. Pay attention to the feed as well. Yeah, they got it. She got it from behind. And basically, you lose this fight because of the Pharah and the res. She kills
She got up. Yeah,
more or less everyone else. Yeah. So this last fight was a bit unfortunate with the Mercy res. Maybe you could have spotted and pay more attention to it, but okay, I think at this level it's okay. It's understandable perfectly well.
Sorry guys. It was Soldier's fault last.
So to sum up, like I said in the beginning, I think the main reason why you lost this game was because your team couldn't handle the Pharah Mercy comp of the other team. First point, communicate more with your team about team composition, about their positioning. They made really, especially the Reinhardt in the beginning, really, he had really bad positioning. Focusing on the Pharah, asking your Mercy to heal you sometimes. Communication in general with your team. You tried, but you need to improve it if you want to climb. And I think also in order to climb, you need to be proactive in doing this kind of corrections to your team, so it helps your team win the games. Your positioning was okay already. The other thing to improve, as I said, was your cooldown management. So prioritize your sleep darts. Unfortunately, you wasted 2 sleep darts that could have been crucial to prevent the Pharah from ulting. And your biotic grenade, you didn't use it as much as you should, as well as in yourself sometimes, on your team. You can also use it offensively, but I think for now just focus on trying to use it defensively more often, and pay more attention to your cooldowns when it's out of cooldown. Otherwise, I think your mechanics are pretty good for gold. Your positioning is not that bad. You stayed alive almost the entire game. And yeah, also start to think about risk versus reward situations. Maybe a bit more intermediate advanced topic, but why not? Yeah, and I guess that's it. I hope it helped, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.